Here's my cracked security staff here at the condos. Good bunch of guys. I guess it's the 7 p.m. inspection of uniform. I like to see it. Reminds me of my Navy days. So that's a little motorbike ride. It's Wednesday, about 7 p.m. That's kind of light traffic. We got a little bit of speed in between, what was that, Soi 24 and 20. But I came up to the deck here on Soi 20. Good little spot, dog friendly. Dogs are allowed on the patio, I believe. And I'm waiting for my friend to get off of work. Again, it's 7 p.m. It's not unusual for Thai folks to go in at 9 and get off at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Should be a nice evening. I think they have a pretty international menu with plenty of Thai options. And behind the deck is, what is this, Sarah's vegetarian Indian food. And the deck's not far off Sukhumvit. You could see it at the end there where the Radisson Blue is. And Soi Cowboy would be to the left, maybe 200 meters. And right there is the Courtyard by Marriott. You can see the BTS train going by. Those are the tracks. And I'm not sure how you pronounce that, on Rune Roach Tower. Looks like a beautiful building. Some nice choices, but we're actually, I'm not sure if we've moved into Phrom Phong yet. I'm not sure if Phrom Phong starts at Soi 20 or if we're still in Asok. We're actually closer to the Asok BTS than we are Phrom Phong. And it looks like they have 160 baht breakfast special. I'd guess that's an American breakfast. And right on the other side of the deck is the Best Western, Sukhumvit, Soi 20. For those of you that have Best Western points, this Marriott, Best Western, Radisson Blue, all central Bangkok, easy to navigate anywhere around the city. Oh, and I guess that Sarah's also says they have a Pattaya location. If you're into vegetarian cuisine, try this Indian option. And across the street is the Marriott, the Courtyard option. When you're doing miles and points, and I'm a huge points guy, you can stay at the top of the line Marriott Marquis over on Soi 22. Yeah, it's on 22 for a ton of points, or maybe you can stay 3 nights here at the Courtyard, and I'm making those numbers up, for 1 night at the Marquis. And it's still a beautiful property. I'm not positive, but I'll bet it comes with at least a continental breakfast. And right across the street is the Windsor Tower condominiums. And I was over here one time. I think there's a Spanish, I'll call it a tapas bar, but it might be, yeah, I'm gonna guess it's a tapas bar because it's called Hamon Hamon. Nothing else, it's a wine bar. And right across from the Marriott is the Bangkok. Smaller hotel, looks like a 6-story unit. So I started inside with some nice air conditioning. I guess this place is called the deck, but the deck itself is closed. It's more for parties upstairs, or maybe on the weekends. I didn't get the whole story. This is actually a deck outside as well. And my friend, she might want to sit out there, but I'm gonna start with the air conditioning and we'll go from there. It just feels great in here. It's not too cold. I don't know what it's set at. That's the thing with air conditioning over here. I don't know much about air conditioning living in California. So I just came over here years and years ago, and it's so hot. I just cranked that thing as cold as it would go, and that's a mistake. Walking into a refrigerator and then walking outside and it's 100 degrees. So now I've learned to kind of keep my air conditioning at, I think, 72 Fahrenheit, and it still feels cold. And half the time I don't even have it on. I just have fans going, and I have the air conditioner on, I don't know, half hour every 2 hours, and it just keeps the place cool. But that's me trying to acclimate to a hotter climate. So this is the top deck. I thought it was all open, but just this area out here. And she told me it's more for private functions, or if there's a ton of customers. Yeah, so this is kind of cool. And it's pretty much the same setup right under this deck. I guess it's still a deck. And back there is the vegetarian restaurant. And here's Soi 20. Yeah, so it's a nice place. Looks like a nice menu. I'm gonna order some steak. I haven't had steak in a while. They have an Australian hanger steak, and I'm gonna enjoy my dinner with my friend and then see where we head from here. And it's my friend's Nat's birthday, so I don't want to seem like I'm making a YouTube video out of her birthday. She hasn't arrived yet, so I'm probably gonna put the camera down, but just looking at the plates going by, it looks like pretty good looking food. This will be the first time I've ate here, and I'm sure it's gonna be great. Hey, I wanted to mention, I do my best to answer everybody that takes a time to leave a comment, but when I answer your comment, if you then make a comment to my response, it does not show up in my notifications. And I don't get that many comments, but I get a few dozen a day sometimes. And, you know, if I respond to somebody and then they make another response, I have no way of knowing. So if you want to make a second response after I've answered a question, please make a new comment, if that makes sense. Just don't reply to my comment or I'll never see it. I understand a lot of guys with larger channels, it'd be almost impossible to try to answer all the comments or even just give a thumbs up. I'm just a smaller channel, and yeah, some people I love it. They'll comment 3 different comments on a single video, and that's great. It sure helps with the YouTube algorithm and all, but I can understand where a larger channel who might get upwards of over 100 comments a day, it'd be just impossible. So don't feel bad if you're commenting on some of those larger channels and they don't get back to you. And I'm sure a lot of those people are reading all the comments. It's just almost near impossible to answer them all at that level. Me, I'm nowhere near that. So like I say, leave me a comment, but if I get into a conversation with you, I might not see your response unless you make a new comment. And there's definitely some 5-star restaurants around town. This one I would consider kind of a middle restaurant. It's definitely not super cheap, but even a kind of middle ground place. My steak, I think, was 800 baht, and many items on the menu, like beautiful looking grilled chicken dishes, were about 300 baht. My pint was 160, but I ordered acai. I think you could get local pints for 140, which is not uncommon for Bangkok. I know people in Pattaya or whatnot might say that's a ton of money for a pint, but things have really gone up here in Bangkok since the last 5 years, I'd guess. Rents have skyrocketed. And by skyrocketed, I mean for Bangkok prices. I don't know. I have a couple of buddies that own bars around town, and yeah, they're just paying almost twice as much as they were less than 10 years ago. So those costs have to be passed on. It's still super affordable compared to anywhere in California, so I'm not really complaining. It's funny when I even have to make a comment that 140 baht is a ton of money for a drink here in Bangkok when compared to my buddy Moses back in San Diego. He doesn't even drink, but when he takes his wife out to dinner and maybe she's celebrating that evening, having 3 drinks, yeah, those drinks might be 16 bucks a piece in San Diego. So to pay less than $5 for a drink over here, yeah, it's nothing. I get it. In Pattaya, you might spend $3 for that drink, but hey, I live here in Bangkok. I love Bangkok, and if I have to pay an extra $1.50 for a drink, so be it. And as far as that motorbike ride, that was an 8-minute ride from kind of halfway down Soi 26 up to Sukhumvit, down here to Soi 20. 8 minutes it took. So the deck, it's open 7 days a week. It has happy hour from 7:30 in the morning. They do a big breakfast thing here until, I believe, 7 p.m. And the kitchen is open till 11 p.m. The bar, the place, closes at midnight. It's a little after 2, and I'm back at the condo, and the food delivery and cabs still keep coming. I'm going to run across the street, 7-Eleven, get a few supplies. Thank you so much for checking out my little look over towards the deck. Great little place on Soi 20. There's also a sports bar I think I failed to film. It's kind of a sports bar. It's like a big outdoor sports bar complex, almost on the corner of Sukhumvit and Soi 20. And then right around the corner is a Buddy's Bar. I think it's in between Soy 20 and Soy 18. I like those Buddy's Bar and Grills. 5 or 6 locations around town. It's a good little hangout. So thanks again for watching, and consider subscribing for more looks around Bangkok. Have a good evening.